Oh, let's see here. Is the Yeti working? Come on. So annoying. Test, 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 test. Of course not. There we go. Microphone Yeti Classic. Hello. Audio. Good. It. Of course, now that's gonna work. Oh, hello. Let's see if we've got audio. Yeah, we do have audio. What the heck? All of a sudden, let's see if we've got audio. I've been sitting here for like 15 minutes trying to troubleshoot this stupid stream. Trying to see why it wasn't working. And as soon as I decided, you know, I'm just going to transition, see if it works. Suddenly it works. Man, I could have already been on this for like a lot longer. So I'll show you what's going on here, peoples. I have a Dell laptop, Dell G5, that came in yesterday. Tore it down, got down to the board, and discovered disaster. So what was going on with it was the laptop wouldn't boot. You push the power button and keyboard lights up, power button lights up, there's a little bit of fan activity, it shuts down. When I had just the back cover off, I could put my back of my hand to the CPU and GPU and I could feel heat somewhere in there. So it's like there's power getting somewhere, it's trying to boot, but it can't. Something's got to be stopping that. So I fully tore it down, still wasn't finding anything, took the fans off, cooling system off, and right by the GPU, I believe, I gotta clean that. I haven't seen, I'm pretty sure that's GPU though. There is this little guy here. See if we can zoom in a little bit. This little guy here that is not looking too healthy. So what we're going to do is try and find what that is, what this chip is, and if we can fix it, replace it. Just gonna get stuff moved over, take a look, and we're gonna go to desktop view. We're gonna see if we can find the swap. Let's fix that, and that. Let's go ahead and transition. No, there's not audio. Okay, there's audio now. Audio there, audio here. Good. Set. Going. So, first things we're going to look for is trying to find easy charts or something to get that UFN chip pulled up. A picture on my phone is how we're going to look at it. So we are looking for, we'll start this way. We're going to find a schematic for the first, because if we find a schematic, might be able to identify the chip easier. LA, already started to type it in, but I didn't fully type in the board number. Missed a couple numbers, I guess. E93B. Schematic. There we go. I think this is it. Revision 1. Dell Latitude G5. I didn't get the model number off the back of it, but I'm going to assume this is probably correct. Yeah, sure. Pause one. Wow. Rip. Got two. Attachments. Let's see. Bliss via virus. Stay tuned. No. PDF file. Alright. Dell schematic. Open this with. See if I can open this with, yeah. Go. Hold up there. Here. Why are we doing that? Alright. Dell only. Starter D1, DK52, DK53. Yep, those numbers are on here. PCB number A, E33, or E99, 3P. Okay, I believe we have the schems. This board was built in 15, correct? Yep. This schem board says February 13th, 28, which is almost, what is that, 5 years ago? Almost 5 years on the dot. I keep looking though. Yeah, so we have an Intel Coffee Lake. Guess what that is, processor? I think it is, if I remember right, laptop said it had a 7th gen, 8th gen. Run there. Into a GPU. NVIDIA. Does have 2 DIMM slots. Half-inch display. What we're really looking for is a chip that's labeled either let's see what it was. PU 4000. So I'm gonna just do a search because I'm not about to scroll through 78 pages. You can find PU 4000. Found it. This is a QFN 20 lead, which I believe that's correct. Let's see. Yeah, it's 20 leads. I found it. Okay, so we found the chip. This is what it is. SY 8286 RAC QFN 20 lead. I believe that 3x3 is 3.3 volts. Kind of new to reading all these, so learning. I have to get in touch with Isakil, get him to load this up to scams. The 3-volt chip. Everything I'm seeing looks to be pointing to 3-volt inline. 3-volt in. Current limit set to 6 amps, 9 amps, 12 amps. Not worried about this pin. We're worried about these ones though. This is what's burnt. Let's see. Pin 1. We got pin 1. So these final 16 through 20 blown. 0.2. Okay, so pins 19, 20. Right now I'm trying to figure out what killed it. I think it was the charger. Because his charger cord, as soon as you plugged it in, as soon as I plugged it in, it made this weird sound. And I'll see if I can replicate before I replace the chip, because I'm definitely not going to plug that charger back in to it until I tear down the power supply, charger power supply, until I tear that down. But I'm going to see if I can get a schematic for this chip too. Data sheet on regulator. Yep. Okay, yeah, it's like a buck converter. It takes volts. Step down regulator. Phillips high efficiency synchronous step down DC to DC regulator capable of delivering a 6 amp current. Device integrates main switch and synchronous switch with very low RDS on to minimize conduction loss. DC regulator adopts the instant PWM architecture to achieve fast transient responses for high step-down applications and efficiency. From Synergy. Let's get a data sheet downloaded. Open that puppy up with Adobe. All right, Synergy. High efficiency, fast response, 6 amp, 23 volt, input synchronize, that down, regulate. Read that stuff. Let's see, applications for LCD TV, set-top box, book right there. High power applications, AP, I'm assuming. AP is applications. So these are the guys that died here. Right here. Got blown out. Pins. And yeah, anything from 16 to 20. 20 is an inductor pin. Next to an inductor. 19 and 20 connect to an inductor. And we'll see if, let me pull this scheme here. 6, 19, and 20. Yeah, I'll connect to the same inductor. So if the inductor was bad, I believe that would have blown out pin 6, which it did not. Excuse me, so we can rule out the inductor. Here we go. Excuse me. So, inductor I believe is fine. I think it would have taken out the other chips as well. 16 is not connected. Yep, and C not connected. So we had, I'm thinking, pin 17, because that's what looked like it was the worst. Pull the reference picture. That's what looks like it had the front ground. Yeah, I think something shorted to ground. Or shorted to positive. Let's see, 17. What's 17 take? Internal 3.3 output. Ground. Oh yeah, ground pin right there. Ground pin. Analog circuits, driving circuit. Decouple this pin to ground. The 2.2 farad, 2.2.5 or 2.2 microfarad ceramic cap. Block diagram. I need that. This is the fun stuff of the job. Okay, this is I love diagnosing and trying to figure, especially whenever I find blown component, trying to figure out what happened. Something shorted to ground, I believe, is what happened, and I'm going to say quite possibly it was that power supply. Maybe I can find where this chip leads off to, where that, and what was it, pin 17 an output. Pin 17 is an output. So I wonder if I plug up in the power supply. Let's see. Plugging the power supply, I might be able to get a reading off. Maybe. I don't know. I'm gonna see if we can find a replacement for that chip though. Let's check Mauser. Mauser might. Mauser. Yeah, let's just shoot there first. Nothing. This was a. Oh, it's not available anymore. Fun. Crap. DigiKey might have it too. Back out a little bit. controller IC chip. Hey, we got one on eBay. BAA 5X. Need to verify the model on this one. SY8628286A. Get a spool of these. eBay. For a whole $1, but it will take almost a month to get. Oh man, I'd like to get it quicker. So what I think I'm going to do now, since I have found the chip, we're gonna go back to, not to the workbench, capture card, transition. We're gonna go to the soldering station, and we are going to pull this guy from existence. And let's see here, we've got, cool. I'll back him up. Look at that. There's our guy there. Let's just lower here just a little bit. Try and get a little bit closer view. I just don't want to use the zoom because it gets a little grainy on my end. It might not look so bad on your side, but I've got a bigger monitor. And at 1080p, as soon as it starts zooming in a little bit, it gets a little rough. So we're gonna go ahead and get that chip off though, because that is not looking too good. I got my flux, tweezers. Oh, I got better looking tweezers here. My alcohol. I think that is all I need for now. I'm gonna get this guy off. I don't think I need super high air flows. Maybe 400. Start off at 40 degrees. Before I fire that guy up though, whoop, I want to just protect a little bit of the system. Cool. Cool. Had a wall mount for paper towels and I just yanked it straight off the wall. Just the holders. The mount itself is still there. Yeah. Just putting some of my aluminum tape down since I'm right next to the GPU. It's a couple doors down. I don't want it to don't really feel like reflowing the chip. Heating up anything I don't want to overheat, so not that I suspect that I'm going to take a ton of heat to get this chip off anyways, but with burnt out components like that you never know, so just be safe, you can do that. Go drop a little flux down that guy, get him ready to go. Right now, just standard procedure, moving these chips. Good old heat. Not trying to go too crazy with the heat. Keep my tape down. Not quite melted yet. I might have to boost it. Let's just bump it up. Just right quick. Ah! I just smacked some components. Back off a little bit. Let me take a peek at this reference picture so I can look at that resistor where that went. Okay, perfect. So all I did was pretty much just scoot them backwards and get my smaller tweezers here. I just kind of shifted everything back. It happens. I'm gonna get this fixed and then we'll clean and assess what's going on over here. My tweezers are bent. Yikes, and they're hot. There we go. Just drop a little flux down. Just to help get things moving. Those leads might not be salvageable. I'm going to try my hardest on them. Let's get you back to your spot. Okay, don't stand up. Sit down. Sit. Come on, buddy. There you go. And then you're probably not melting because the tape is keeping it from doing so. Scoot back some of that tape, I guess. Gonna move this tape up. It's deflecting a lot of my heat. Need that resistor to get back down. There we go. All right, that's disaster averted. Nope, let's not do that. Almost traded one crisis in for another. Okay, just want to verify all of my surrounding components are where they're supposed to be, and they are, so we're looking good. Cool. Yeah, so that chip, I was trying to take it off, but the leads that are KFC 8-piece bucket with extra crispy chicken is keeping the chip in place. It was not wanting to come up. So instead of pulling the chip upwards, ripping those leads, and doing trace work for a QFN chip that is like a quarter the size of your thumbnail, I pulled to the side away from it. So not up, but away. And in doing so, knocked a couple of components. It's fine. I have the picture of everything before I took the chip off. Surrounding area, always good to do so. And I was able to move that stuff over. So I think we're good. I think we are good. I'm gonna go ahead and just drop a little IPA and brush. Clean the spot up. And so far, not so good. This is looking real rough. Let me zoom in a little bit. A little grainy on my end. It's just because it's a bigger monitor. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna go grab my water. Okay. I'm gonna see if I can zoom back out. I'm gonna get an even clearer, closer image if I can. If possible. Whoop. Got a good scope, but my lighting's still kind of wonky. I need to get a better mount for my ring lighting here. Ugh. How far can we unzoom or focus? Oh goodness. I think I was going the wrong way on the focus lens here. Holy cow, this knob goes forever. Might not be able to zoom in this far. Oh, I think we're getting somewhere. Getting there, getting there. Nope, can't get that close. Back off just a tad. Yep. Still learning the scope, bear with me. This is honestly the first time I've actually used it, so. Alright, that looks like that is as close as I can get. I think we're staring at the GPU right now, so we're just gonna move my finger underneath there. Nice. That is us. We've got some lifted up leads. For sure. So I know pin 1 is down here. So this guy right here was pin 1. And they go clockwise. So this is 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. These guys are very much so trashed. Gonna put a little flux down. See if my iron might need to change the tip. I believe so. So what I'm doing right now, I'm trying to clean all the solder off because it's kind of just getting in the way of me seeing these leads. I need to assess everything. So if I can get them all cleaned up and organized, might be able to salvage this. I'm going to change tips. I think I need a slightly larger surface area. Not by much though. That down. Grab my stuff here. Let's see what this guy looks like. That's a little too big. How's this one? DO8. That'll work, I think. That'll work. Just don't wanna take too much of a chance of hitting that resistor right next to it. I can knock that guy off. And the cap right above the resistor too. Wait for the tip to get warm up. You got excess solder that protects the tips so they don't oxidize. Pro tip. Pun not intended, but that was a good one. All right. Come in here. Oh yeah. Toss a little solder on the iron here. Just mixing some new stuff with the old stuff. That'll help lower the melting temp so I can get it all cleaned up. There we go. All right, so those leads are gone. I think these guys are going to be gone too. Maybe. Maybe. Pin 20 is good. 18 and 19. I just have to take them and then try and run jumpers to them. Rebuild. See here. Ooh. We've got like the entirety of that whole piece of the PCB is just gone. Let me pull up the stem again. See if I can blindly drag this over to the second monitor. Sounds like these. I wish I had 3 monitors. Nope. Just change inputs. There we go. Oh, that's probably why I wasn't pulling up. There we go. All right. Get back to. I'm just quickly looking at the chip stem here. Ooh. See what the pins did again. I may have read this wrong, actually. Let's see here. Give me 1 sec, guys. May have read my stuff wrong here. Yeah, I did. I was looking at it backwards. So these are actually pins 1 through 5 that are blown. And that would make more sense because these are input pins. So, pin, let's hold on, let me change this view because we're going to reevaluate here. That makes so much more sense because I was confused as to why an output would have blown and not an input. Because 19 through 20 were basically output pins. There was an inductor pin and then ground pin and an output pin. So it didn't make sense to me, but let me swap back to the desktop. Let's take a look here. So I screenshot on my phone, took a picture of this, flipped it around to the orientation of where it was supposed to be. So these pins, if you take this whole picture, I'm pointing as if you can see, but if you take this whole picture here, rotate, snapshot. Okay, but where's that snapshot go? Anyways, go rotate 180 degrees. Boom. Let's see. Yeah, so this is how it's lined out, right? So we're doing pins 1 through 5. Let's go ahead and read. Okay. So bootstrap pin, high supply gate driver, decouple this pin to LX pin. A ceramic capacitor. That would make sense because they're ceramic cap. That it's connected to. Really tiny cap. And looking at it now, it makes more sense because with it flipped upside down, X inductor pins, those are directly connected to inductor that chip would. Okay, so pin 1 was actually fine if we're looking at the board view, if we were to look at the board view. Mercy. So we're looking at the board view. Pin 1 was fine. That one's actually, you can follow the line. Sorry, a little bit of itchy nose. If you follow that line from pin 1, it hits a resistor, I believe, or it goes underneath into a via. Okay. So pins 1 and 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, and 5 are input pins from something. So let's go back to desktop view. So pins 2 through 5 are what? Blue. So 2 through 5 input pins that connected with a 10 farad microfarad pin caps. Two caps. Those two caps. Back at this guy. Hard. So here we are looking at the right there. Okay, so this is pin 1. So I was telling you about connects to this here. These, I believe, the caps. Either these two or this guy. I'm thinking it's this guy because this is 10 microfarads, pretty big. So I'm going to assume it's this cap here that they're connected to. Let's see. Because 6, this one goes to the inductor coil that's down here, along with 19 and 20 connect here. And then 7's a ground pin, 8's a ground pin. So 7 and 8 is a ground pin. 9, power good indicator, open drain output when the output voltage is within 90 to 100%, 120% of regulation point. So this one checks for if the power is good. And then this one is number 10, not connected. That goes to a via. Interesting. If I'm looking at it right, I'm kind of viewing it on the small preview here, so I don't have to keep changing inputs on my screen. So I think I might have to. I'm gonna change inputs right quick. I needed to have gotten the tester for component, so I can just grab a component and put it on this tester and it'll tell me what size it is. But I really do believe that this is the 10 microfarad capacitor. Actually, I have it. Let me check. Yeah. I have a small pack of 10 microfarad caps, so let's take a look and see the size. Yeah, it's definitely that one. Hey, I just dropped one on the floor. Let's do size comparison with my 10 microfarad caps. Yeah. Pretty much the same thing. Pretty much. You could definitely use that to replace it. It's just it's a slightly smaller package, but on the board. But I believe that's the 10 microfarad cap, and we could check that too. If our leads aren't completely blown, we'll be able to. Should be able to check with the multimeter. Let's see here. If we do, where am I at? Right there. Do this guy here. And it was yeah, 2 through 5 go straight into this cap here. Yep. That would explain why this is pretty much just one whole plane, because all of these go straight into this guy. So what we can do then is we don't have to completely rebuild every single trace, thank God, because they're all one thing. So they all go to the same place. So what we can do is get a pad strip, put it down, and then solder pins 2 through 5 on that chip. Whenever we get the chip back down, do 2 through 5 onto that pad, and as long as that pad's connected to this line here that goes straight to the cap, we should be in business there. So I'm gonna go ahead actually and I'm just gonna remove this here, since we've confirmed that they're all in the same lead. I might not be able just to grab it with my tweezers. No. I'll go ahead and get the iron back up and get that taken care of. I still got about 10 more minutes of stream left, and I will not finish this without either streaming or recording. I'm gonna try and stream because it's easier for me than to sit down and edit a whole video. I'm not even recording. I believe I can just pull the stream up, or pull the stream recording up and download straight from the tube. So let's go ahead and get this guy up and off. He needs to go. Move that solder. I'm gonna leave this bit here though. That's part of the trace that I can tap into. We'll clean up here. There we go. Just want a little bit of residue from my aluminum tape there. I just wanted to clean that spot up. Re-hit this spot here. These guys are all still looking good. Sometimes when you're brushing, after you've cleaned up after you've soldered a spot up like this, you can get a connection or loosen a connection, you know, and as you're brushing, knock a component off or something. So it's good to check the surrounding area. All right, so that looks pretty good, and you can see the trace line. Let's see if I can brighten this up a little bit. Change the color. No, not really. I'll add more lighting. More lighting kind of helps, but not quite. Actually, I think it makes it worse. Yeah, let me turn the ring light. Turn this guy down. Turn you on. There we go. The spotlight helps. Spotlight helps. So you can see the masking. Sorry, not my mic. You can see the masking difference, right? So this is just ground plane. Nothing really there. You scratch that up and you should expose the ground plane. Like this, I believe this pin here was ground. So this is actually just solder exposing from the ground. But you can see the darker here is this trace. This whole piece right here is all that trace. And that connects to, if you follow it, yeah, straight up to that cap. And this, I believe, is either a test point or a jumper point. That's a test point. Yeah, that's a test point for this chip. The P. J. No, J. That's marking this cap. I'm sorry. This is just a test point, though. And that goes to here, which is a big old inductor or something. So we're just following this trace. We're going down a rabbit hole. Oh, and it's gone. There's probably a via. There is not probably, there is vias. You can see all of them here. On the other side of this board, you can flip the board around and follow it to find out where this inline came from. But we also have the schematics, so we're not going to worry about trying to follow it on the board, but we can just look at the schems. Yeah, this is a jumper pad or a test point for inline voltages. And I'm going to order the chips. I'm not going to try and see if I can find a donor chip. I highly doubt I do, because the other Dell G5 that I have in here had similar issues, but I didn't find any blown components. And customer just said just to keep it. They have no use for it. So I took the data off the drive for them and transferred to a new drive. Excuse me. But we do have these caps here that in the spec sheet said to use to decouple this these pins from ground. Could these caps be bad? Maybe. Because they're supposed to stop voltages from, I guess, leaking or shorting the chip to ground. But I really do suspect that this is from a faulty power supply, because these are inline chips, and those were inline traces to that chip, and the chip was overloaded by bad current. The chip is in charge of stepping down the DC voltage from the power supply. Power supply takes the AC voltage, converts it to a, I don't know, 17 something, I think, voltage on the power supply, plugs into the system. While the system runs, it takes that voltage, disperses it how it needs to, and to get a 3.3 volt current, it goes through this chip here. And because the power supply was bad, it sent too much current to the chip and killed it. That's my theory. I could be wrong. I'm still learning about electronics and electricity and all that stuff. Really only been doing it for a few years, so. And this level of diagnostics on my own, not very long. Most stuff I found on YouTube. So if there's other YouTubers or professionals that have seen this issue before, feel free to let me know. But I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to get those chips ordered. I'm going to end the stream. I have a service call I need to be heading out to now. And I will continue to fix this board once the chips come in. We'll restream, I'll record, have everything compiled into a video. I appreciate you guys. We'll see you all later. Let's go to this guy here. See you guys.